Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. In our top story, federal agents assisted the Virgin Islands Police Department with tracking down alleged perpetrators involved in the carjacking and sexual assault of a minor that occurred earlier this month, as we reported. A large amount of money was given to Crime Stoppers VI to provide an award to anyone who has information that could lead to an arrest. 5 individuals were arrested as of last Friday in relation to this case. However, on a recent radio program, members of the VIPD were grilled on whether both victims' race had a part in such a large reward and quick arrest. Here's more.
The Virgin Islands Police Department announced that Link Baltimore Jr. and Juan Rodriguez was arrested for the carjacking and sexual assault involving 2 young women on an East End road. Chief McFarlane reaffirmed that justice would be served.
I have no doubt in our mind that we will get conviction on all counts that we set forth in reference to the crimes that were committed.
On the Holland Redfield radio program, Redfield inquired with both Chief McFarlane and lead Detective Naomi Joseph about the trust and capability factors that the department encountered during this case.
People just travel with their biases from where they came from, and the assumption is the VIPD wasn't capable. And so they needed somebody who looked like them in order to get a successful investigation completed.
And that's hurtful.
And it is.
Before the alleged perpetrators were arrested, Crime Stoppers had informed that an anonymous donation equaling $40,000 was given to assist with tips that would lead to an arrest for this case. Host Holland Redfield questioned whether race was related to the monies raised.
I have not seen that kind of money raised for a black or a Puerto Rican child, and I am not condemning the raising of that money, okay? But I am looking at this where there seemed to be, we're standing on our own.
Chief Winsbert reacted swiftly to the comments.
When you victimize a child, it doesn't matter to me or conscious people, all right, whether we're black or white, conscious people.
Radio host Holland Redfield boomeranged the race factor once again in relation to the monetary donations given to assist in bringing this case to justice. However, the chief was silent for words.
Chief, have you seen that kind of money raised for a black or a brown child?
For News 2, I'm Stephanie Shalana Brown.
Virgin Islands Police Commissioner Delroy Richards Sr. informed that one of the alleged perpetrators was out of the territory and would be brought back and charged very soon. Well, the Rules and Judiciary Committee, they met to review several bills, which included a bill to honor Alan Haynes, who is a respected healer that practices a dying Virgin Islands art form. The committee also debated over bills to increase tavern keeper licenses and erect a Virgin Islands holiday to be entitled Freedom Week. The purchase of Estate Catherinesburg was also discussed from WICO to be used as a museum. That was passed on to be reviewed by the entire legislative body. Here's more.
Recognize that there's merit in the argument that some limitation are necessary at times, but of course it's an old law on the books, and we certainly have got to be mindful about stimulating our economy. So that's basically, in essence, and simply put, you know, this went through the Committee of Jurisdiction as well, and I think that there was only one objection to it. I trust
only government acknowledges Emancipation Day. Most private businesses, they don't even pay any attention. And the reason why? Because there's no cost attached to it.
Number 32-0002, as amended, has been voted upon favorably by this committee and will send to the full body for further consideration.
Well, on Sunday, the Department of Health, in partnership with Starkey, that's a foundation, they gave the gift of hearing to over 200 residents on the island of St. Croix. The youngest patient was 5 years of age. The Gift of Hearing mission was held on the first level of Sunshine Mall. 25 volunteers, which included the Department of Health staff, Wanef Louise staff, and Barry University students, and St. Croix medical doctors. Dr. Winces Gentias, DOH's audiologist, was the lead coordinator and facilitator in bringing Department of Health and Starkey Foundation together. The Department and Starkey Foundation, they provided the gift of hearing at no cost cost to the residents of St. Croix, and plans are soon the entire Virgin Islands. Here's more.
So we're so very happy that the Department of Health was able to partner with Starkey Foundation. They flew here from different countries. They came from Guyana, also came from Jamaica. Then we had people come from Florida and Minnesota, and all to give the gift of hearing to our residents here on St. Croix. And it's free. So that's the big thing that the Department of Health always tries to do, is make sure that we give access to quality health care at either a discount or at no cost. And we're so very happy that they're going to be coming back in October to help individuals that were not able to be seen this time because they were on a waiting list or that they heard about it late.
We plug them in, they work with the controls to see how high or too low. Once we find a comfortable level for them, that's when we cut the tubes down to size and we get the hearing aids on, and from there we take them to counseling. And in counseling is where we walk them through, how to take care of the hearing aids, how to clean them, how to secure them, understand how to look, how to turn up the volumes, how to change the batteries. So we kind of walk them through the process of just being able to take care of the hearing aids on their own if we're not there to show them how to do it.
Well, as we shared, the medical emergency services, the staff in both districts, they are holding activities in celebration of EMS Week. The St. Croix EMS staff, they attended a career day at Central High School in which they spoke on their services and safety processes, encouraging the students to consider the health field as a career. The staff, department members, and supporters, they joined in to celebrate during the EMS parade on St. Thomas. The staff also held a display right there at the Roy Lester Schneider Hospital lobby this morning. St. Croix's parade was held over the weekend. Now today it was Safety Day, educating the staff and public. Tomorrow, Wednesday, May 24th, it's EMSC Day, school visits at the Claudio Marco School, 8 a.m., St. Patrick's Schools, Eulalie Rivera Elementary, St. Croix Christian Academy, and the Pearl B. Lawson Elementary School. So what was the cause of major traffic on Monday afternoon near Havenside Mall? Well, it was a dump truck that broke down on the hill past Havenside. Vitima issued an announcement. We're going to take to that video shortly. Vitima issued an announcement hours later at 6:54 reporting major gridlock at Mandela Circle. Motorists were advised to avoid the area. But before that, Public Works reported an oil spill that occurred earlier in the day that you can see right there near the Alcoans Plaza. Sand was covering the street that was visible today, and that was used to cover the oil spill. Well, some say traffic was at a standstill for about 3 hours. Cars traveling east on the Frenchman's Bay Road had to back up when the truck broke down and began leaking fluids. That caused traffic to back up. It forced delays on Rappoon Hill, and drivers traveling east and west had to take alternate routes. Crews, meanwhile, they worked to load the truck onto a trailer. By 6 p.m., they say police were diverting traffic. Many drivers were frustrated, but we want to say kudos to that gentleman right there, Ben from Benito's Burritos, who did something good to cool down the situation. Much to the delight of those sitting in traffic, he gave out some free beers. Many went to social media to personally thank Benito. And Benito, thank you. Great job there for keeping everyone in a cool mood. Thanks for that. Well, turning to the courts, Dean Thompson of St. Thomas, 47, he made his initial appearance Monday before United States Magistrate Judge Ruth Miller on an indictment charging him with conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute marijuana and possession with intent to distribute marijuana. Acting United States Attorney Joycelyn Hewitt announced that. Thompson was detained pending a detention hearing on Friday. According to the indictment, between February 9, 2017 and March 8, 2017, Thompson conspired with others to possess approximately 14 kilograms of marijuana that was mailed in 2 packages from New York to St. Thomas. If convicted, Thompson faces a maximum sentence of 3 years in prison and $250,000 fine. Also, Gerald Mercer, 42, Jamal Haynes, 39, Makimba Barry, 39, and Craig Richardson, 39. They were indicted by a federal grand jury on May 18, 2017 for conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute cocaine. Acting United States Attorney Joycelyn Hewitt announced today Mercer, an officer with the Department of Planning and Natural Resources, made his initial appearance before Judge Ruth Miller on Friday, and Richardson made his initial appearance Monday. Mercer was placed on home detention and ordered to pay a $75,000 cash bond pending trial. Richardson was detained pending his detention hearing Wednesday. Barry and Haynes were arrested earlier and detained pending trial. According to the indictment, Richardson, Barry, and Haynes conspired with Neil Chesterfield, former bodyguard of Governor Kenneth Mapp, to possess with intent to distribute approximately 136 kilograms of cocaine beginning on or about December 15, 2014 through September 3, 2016. Prior to that date, Mercer, Barry, and Chesterfield conspired to possess with intent to distribute 125 kilograms of cocaine beginning on or about January 1, 2011 through December 15, 2014. Chesterfield pleaded guilty to an information on December 6, 2016, and is detained pending sentences. Now, if convicted, each of the men charged in an indictment faces a mandatory minimum term of imprisonment of not less than 10 years and not more than life, and a fine of up to $10 million. Well, horror in the UK after a terror attack in the city of Manchester, England. At least 22 are dead and 59 injured after an explosion at a concert by pop singer Ariana Grande. ISIS claims responsibility for a night of terror in Manchester. Dozens were injured and some killed in an explosion at the concert venue. Manchester police believe the attacker died in the explosion, but they have arrested another man in conjunction with the investigation. Hundreds of security personnel have been deployed across the country as the UK tries to come to terms with the tragedy it has experienced. Keeping our eye on the economy, the White House is expected Tuesday to release President Donald Trump's budget for 2018. A senior administration official says the budget will include $800 billion in cuts to Medicaid. And that is because the budget assumes the GOP health care bill will eventually become law. Trump's budget is also expected to include a plan to give 6 weeks of paid leave to families after the birth or adoption of a child. Also expected in the budget, changes to anti-poverty programs, giving states new powers to limit a range of benefits. Let's take a look at the numbers there. We can see the Dow up 43, NASDAQ up 5, S&P 500 up 4. Coming up on News 2, we have much more straight ahead, including your weekend schedule. That's coming up. Welcome back. The underserved and uninsured in the territory will greatly benefit from the Relay for Life fundraiser that was held this past weekend on St. Croix. The local chapter of the American Cancer Society is unique from national chapters in that monies raised in the territory remain here. Relay for Life began with a parade serenaded by Stanley and the 10 Sleepless Nights and was attended by a multitude of organizations, businesses, and schools. Stephanie Brown reports.
Relay for Life is a community-based walk event that raises funds across the globe to fight cancer. This past weekend, governmental departments as well as schools and organizations came out to support survivors and remember those that lost their lives to the disease.
And all of us in government, we are concerned about the community's health. One of the good news is that the federal government approved our expansion on the Medicaid program, and next year our dollars will go from $13 million to $27.9 million directly for medical care for the vulnerable section of our community.
Dr. Sam Hughes, chair of the Virgin Islands ACS, informed that unlike national American Cancer Society chapters, the Virgin Islands American Cancer Society has the unique privilege of retaining all proceeds in its territory to be used to serve the uninsured and underserved cancer patients. Lily Cornelius was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2012, and she knows firsthand about the cost of treatment.
Other people have come to me and said, you know, where did you go? And I share my story, and I tell them, and if you're not insured, you know, it's kind of hard for you to afford the treatment. So events like this with Relay for Life, where people actually come out, the community come out and support, raise funds, it's tremendous help to those who are less fortunate.
Renwick Lynch was diagnosed and treated swiftly for prostate cancer, and he advises men to get screening tests.
It's very important. You know, all men should be aware of prostate cancer, and you should have done their checkups.
For News 2, I'm Stephanie Shalana Brown.
Well, it's graduation time in the Virgin Islands, and congrats to the ICRA Academy. The two graduates. The Academy is a community of learning based on universal values and character building grounded in the Islamic way of life. The school was founded in 1997 in St. Croix, United States, VI, and provides education to Muslims and non-Muslims alike. The Academy graduated 2 students this term. Basima Safi Yusuf was the valedictorian, and Ali Amjad Yusuf was the salutatorian. Congrats to you both. All the best in your future endeavors. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the graduation schedule for St. Thomas St. John District, some upcoming commencement ceremonies. We have on June 10th the CTE certification ceremony, and that's 3 p.m. at CHS Auditorium, high school certification. June 11th, we have ACE Night School, 12 p.m. CAHS Auditorium. June 11th, also Raphael Wheatley Skills at 2:30 p.m. CAHS Auditorium. Then we have on June 17th the Ivana Yudorican, 6:17 p.m. Digma Marie Wheatley Gymnasium. June 19th BCB, 10:30 a.m. at the auditorium. Quick note, the St. Croix Central High School, they are announcing mandatory orientation and schedule for ID cards and insurance for incoming 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade students. And orientation began today, May 23rd, but it continues. 9th grade students will meet on Tuesday, May 23rd. Mandatory orientation for incoming 9th graders. This will be the only orientation for incoming 9th graders. Parents and students are required to attend. They say please bring a copy of the student's updated immunization card. 10th graders Wednesday, May 24th. 11th graders Tuesday, May 30th. And 12th graders on May 31st. This will be the only orientation held for these grade levels. Parents and students are required to attend. Bring copy of the student's immunization card. Students must wear the uniform of their present school. ID cards and insurance, that will be taken care of August 28th to the 31st from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. daily. Middle and high school students in St. Thomas, they enjoyed a candid conversation with Virgin Islands native and renowned talk show host Peter Bailey when he sat down with St. Thomas boxer and celebrity chef Julius Jackson on Bailey's popular online talk show Nightcap Live. That was on Friday, May 12 at the BCB Middle School Auditorium. Students attending the Shalimali High School, Ivana Yudorican High School, All Saints Cathedral School, St. Peter and Paul, and BCB Middle School, they filed into the auditorium for the live taping. The show opened with a folkloric Anansi tale told by master storyteller Johannes Henley. The story highlighted the reality of gun violence and neighborhood conflicts facing local communities. In Bailey's chat with Jackson opened up about his rise to national and international prominence and some of the challenges he faced growing up on a small island. He credits his family for ensuring he and his brothers knew the value of hard work and determination, which he says helped him in his entrepreneurial endeavors today. Bailey and Jackson are both alumni of Ivana Yudorican High School and agreed that education is the foundation of success. They can encourage the students to study and remain focused on succeeding in school. There was a quick question and answer segment following the dialogue, and several students asked about Bailey and Jackson's educational background, current success, and simple life hacks to high school and getting through teenage years. Peter Bailey is a U.S. Virgin Islander and nationally recognized author and journalist. His book on the life of hip-hop star Trick Daddy was praised as one of the pop music gems of 2010 by the New York Times. Bailey's popular web-based show, Nightcap with Peter Bailey, is filmed in different locations throughout the United States, with more recently live shows in the Virgin Islands, including the territory's high school students. Job well done there. Well, if you're looking for something to do for the weekend, now is the time to plan it. Emmett P. has your weekend guide.
Ready. It's another episode. Then be out on the road. This is what we love to celebrate, Yo. These are the biggest collab. Boom. When we touch down, they won't play shell long. When we touch down, they won't play shell long.
Now, every Thursday, you can look forward to the weekend guide. Now, on Tuesdays, we're doing something a little different. We're featuring brand new establishment, new on the scene that's doing magnificent things. Listen, I say you haven't ate until you tried lunch from this spot right here. Introduce yourself and tell us what this spot is all about.
My name is Gary. Name of the business is BGB's. Basically, a mixture between Latin flavors. We make everything basically fresh from scratch. We make everything to order here. We got great prices, great food, and great drinks.
It's sandwiches, quesadillas, and tacos, right?
Yes.
And now you're dropping the entrees as well?
Yes. Basically, we're trying to provide also food and hopefully a dinner menu really soon. I really like cooking, you know, and it's been going good, so it's just really to try it and you be the judge.
All right. And you said the Latin flavor mixed with a what?
It's a mixture between Latin flavors.
Between Latin flavors?
Yes.
So you got a spice, but you still got some good seasoning in it?
Yes.
All right. You got to check it out. Open every day, Monday through Sunday?
Monday to Sunday.
Monday to Sunday, you got your lunch, and on the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the vibes in it up with a good party, a good scene. Gotta come and try the food. For $10 lunch, you can't go wrong. But then the sandwiches, the subs, the tacos, and the quesadillas, can't miss it. Tell them the name and get them your information, your number.
The name of the business is BGB's, and our number is 227-8111.
You gotta come and check it out right here, Mandela Circle, and they got some beautiful bartenders. You can't miss it.
Roman girl is weak culture. Job we know business. Roman girl is we weakness. Keeping it to some selfish. Watch the bumper roll, I want it.
Be sure to stick around. We have much more straight ahead. We'll be right back.
We have very beautiful days ahead of us, just a light breeze, warm temperatures, and calm seas. Taking a look at our satellite, we do see some precipitation and cloud coverage to our west, but for us, we are staying nice and dry, maybe a few clouds passing through the region. So for tonight, 79 degrees. That is going to be our low temperature, mainly clear, and it's going to be a humid one, so certainly kick on that air conditioner. St. John, 87 degrees tomorrow for their high, mostly sunny and a bit breezy, gusts up to 20 miles per hour, which will certainly be appreciated. St. Thomas, 87 degrees, and in St. Croix, 88 degrees for their high for tomorrow. The seas are very calm. The Atlantic side, waves 3 to 5 feet, winds out of the east from 10 to 15 knots. We don't have any advisories to tell you about, and it's a similar story for the Caribbean. Waves 3 to 5 feet and winds out of the east 10 to 15 knots. Taking a look at this 5-day forecast, well, we see nothing but lots of sunshine through Friday, and then some clouds could build up and we could see a few more frequent showers, just brief passing showers. Temperatures on Friday at 85 degrees. Saturday, a shower in places, and that will continue for our Sunday, but temperatures remain very nice and warm in the upper 80s. Sandy, back to you.
Thanks for that. Time for our news to weather picture there by Mia Pintel, third grader, sharing some sunshine and overall smooth sailing, blue skies. Mia, thank you for that. Be sure to send your news to weather picture to the address on the screen, and then tune in to see it right here on News 2. Stick around. We have News 2 Sports coming your way next.
I'm Gary Anthony, and this is News 2 Sports. I hate to say it, but what's the cleanest town in America? That would be San Antonio, because they just got swept. Ouch. The Golden State Warriors became the first team in NBA history to go 12-0 in the playoffs by winning their Western Conference Final Series versus the Spurs 4-0. Off to San Antonio, where Steph Curry was hot. Second quarter action, Curry steps back, and bingo! On to the third. Steph behind the back, and splash! Warriors up 18. Here's that man again from the corner to put the Warriors up by 16 as they cruise into the NBA Finals with a 129-115 win. The lone Spurs highlight, Manu Ginobili, perhaps playing in his last NBA game, and he gets the standing ovation from the home crowd.
I don't have a lot of words to describe it, but of course it makes you feel really well. Feeling that type of appreciation, love, respect. It's not that you go, expecting it on every step you make, but when it happens on a situation like that, and you receive all that without expecting it, shakes your world a little bit.
Over to Cleveland, the Cavs look to bounce back and go up 3-1 after their unfathomable loss Sunday to a very depleted Celtics squad. Now, I expect LeBron to be on top of his game after his pitiful 12-point performance, and I expect the Cavs to win big. The NBA Finals begin on Thursday, June 1st, and I wholly expect it to be Cavaliers versus the Warriors for round 3. That's it for sports. Sandy, back to you.
Gary, thank you for the highlights. That is all for this edition of News 2. Thank you for joining us. I'm Sandra Gaman Singh. Have a wonderful evening.